So a few minutes ago, I saw this posted by the Ken Swift Twitter account. It is Lexie Brown talking about Caitlin Clark. And I stand by this. Lexie Brown was not a believer. She was not a believer. And this is the one thing where it's like when you are not a believer in a player and, they prove you wrong, it's cool to change your mind. And that was the case with Lexie Brown. She was not a believer when Caitlin Clark first came into the WNBA. She wasn't. And I don't think a lot of people were believers. I think there were a lot of non-believers in the WNBA when it came to Caitlin Clark. And that's fine. And it's absolutely fine. But I haven't watched this yet. Obviously just out 9 minutes and it's 3 minutes to watch. I was actually recording a full Wiley video while this came out. But let's take a listen to what Lexie Brown says.
First team we'll talk about is Indiana Fever. They were first in effective field goal percentage, second in pace, and sixth in net rating. New coach, Stephanie White, who came...
Is this the one who just keeps rage baiting Caitlin? Is she the one who keeps rage? Is that Jalen Rose's? Is Jalen Rose's daughter? Is she the one who just keeps rage baiting Caitlin?
From the Connecticut Sun, and some notable personal changes is the additions of Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, Breanna Turner, DeWanna Bonner, and Sydney Colson. Thoughts, Mariah, about anything that I just said?
Well, we've talked in length about the Indiana Fever and what they did in the offseason, but I think they obviously are taking winning and capitalizing off of this Caitlin Clark moment they have going.
Obviously. What team wouldn't?
Very seriously. And I feel like this is exactly how you're supposed to react to having a star like her. And they made the playoffs. She was Rookie of the Year. She had a great year. Like, this all makes sense. I'm excited for them. The coaching change, I think, is going to be really big.
Yeah.
For Connecticut.
They're
on the East.
Yeah, we'll get to them.
But
I actually think the Connecticut Sun, they appointed a good coach. They appointed a Belgium coach that nearly beat USA. They literally lost on a tip-in. They appointed a genuinely good coach. Is it a risk? Yes, it is a risk. It is definitely a risk. But I don't think they appointed a bad coach. Because they don't have much money, and they're the Connecticut Sun, they have to, very much think outside the box. They have to think outside the box when it comes to making these type of deals. And I do feel like they did as good as they could have done. Like, what do you want them to do? Appoint Christy Sides or appoint Latricia Trammell or one of the people that was fired? Reappoint Kurt Miller?
Yes, but I think that it's going to be really exciting. I'm not going to call them championship contenders or anything like that, but I think that it's going to be... You think that they're contenders?
Yeah.
They are.
Yes, I do.
And this is coming from a rival player who would probably consider her team, the Seattle Storm, to be bubble contenders. Like, she would the Storm, if everything goes right, the Storm could fuck about and win the playoffs. Maybe not because it's best of 7 now, but we saw the Chicago Sky do it when they were 500 on the regular season.
I'll tell you why.
Wait. Let's talk about this for a second. What do you think is... Okay, when I say championship contender, I mean, I would bet my own personal funds that they are going to win a championship. I guess contending means they could, but I think a contender is I would put you in there right now today. I think you will win.
Yes.
That doesn't mean I think you will win today is not a contender. That's championship favorite. I stand by this. They are a contender. They're not the favorite. There's a difference. They're not the Lynx of Liberty, but they're definitely a contender.
You think that?
I guess when my contender means get to the finals. Yeah. I'll tell you why. So
yeah, get to the finals.
Yeah,
get to the finals.
And I'll tell you why. I think that there was a lot of misconception about Caitlin Clark's overall game. I think that people got so caught up in her scoring that they didn't realize how good of a point guard she was in college. So I think that once all this...
Well, not to interrupt you, but she didn't get the opportunity to show that as much in college because she wasn't surrounded by as much talent.
What? She led the nation in assists 3 out of 4 years. She led the nation in assists 3 out of 4 years. You literally said she couldn't show that she was a point guard because... she couldn't show that she was a point guard. What? Because of the people around her. Her and Monica Zinano was the best 1-5 combo in college ball. for years. For years. For years, they were the best 1-5 combo. It was the best pick and roll combination.
I think that once all this...
Well, not to interrupt you, but she didn't get the opportunity to show that as much in college because she wasn't surrounded by as much talent.
But the plays that she was making still, despite all that, was like insane. But like people were so caught up in the logo threes and the 23-point attempts per game, which absolutely I understand that. Like it was so much.
She shot 23 points once, I think, against LSU. Maybe she did it more, but once in the big games.
Fun to watch. But I always said she could potentially be one of the best point guards to ever play in the WNBA. And everyone was like, shut up, Lexie. And I was like, all right. Led the league in assists last year as a rookie, which is incredible. So I think after, they take the inventory of the season, you look at what you have, they said, we need to give her a more elite supporting cast and potentially not as many players that need to be spoon-fed buckets.
Yeah. But I mean, she will be spoon-feeding a lot of them buckets in her defense. Like Caitlin Clark will be spoon-feeding them a lot of buckets. And players like DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Kelsey Mitchell are more than happy to be spoon-fed buckets.
So that's no disrespect to anybody that was on her team last year. Like, obviously, they made the playoffs. They'd had a great season. But you have a Natasha Howard and a DeWanna Bonner that can just straight up go get their own bucket. Yeah. And they're huge, okay? These are tall people, okay, guys? I think they're both like 6'3" and 6'4". And
that's the thing as well. Like, in fairness, the weird thing was that NaLyssa Smith could actually get her own bucket. But she couldn't be spoon-fed. It was almost impossible for NaLyssa Smith, just because of her just feel for playing beside Caitlin Clark, just because of her feel for the game. Not even feel for the game, feel for that specific type of game. She was just getting in the way. She was like running where she shouldn't have been. When she should have cut left, she cut right. When she should have stayed, she cut. When she should have cut, she stayed. It was just a weird one. But when you gave NaLyssa Smith the ball, she sometimes did great things. But now hopefully you've got players that are not only can create their own shot, like NaLyssa Smith could, but also can be spoon-fed the ball.
Right? So matchup nightmare. Sophie Cunningham has been playing out of position in Phoenix for like 3 years. So she probably will get to go play the 3 again. She's a very underrated defender. And now you have very elite rim protection in Bree Turner. So now you go keep Aaliyah Boston out of foul trouble, which means she's going to be able to stay on the court. So do I think that they are a contender? Yes, I do. Then,
I mean, she's not lying. She's not lying about any of that. Absolutely not lying. Mariah was so confused because she thought Lexie would affirm her opinion. Lexie actually plays. But like the whole thing when it came to Lexie Brown was that Lexie Brown, again, I don't think she was a believer in Caitlin early on. But like we saw it on Gil's Arena after she played Caitlin for the first time when they were having this rookie of the year debate. And she was like, no, Caitlin's rookie of the year. Like she had played both of them. She was like, no, our scouting report was for Caitlin. Like the first name of the scouting report against the Fever is we prepped for Caitlin Clark. Like her team, it was her team, wasn't her, that when Ari McDonald hit a free throw, she ran to deny Caitlin Clark the ball when she still had another free throw. Like that was against her team. And it was against her team where Caitlin had a really bad game. Their first win of the season. And then it's a really close game down the stretch. I think it's like a 2-point game. Caitlin Clark step back 30-footer, bang. With like 2 minutes to go. Next possession, they get a stop. Comes down, step back 30-footer, bang, game over. Even after a bad game, she goes and does that. And then also the next time they played, ironically, when the Sparks beat the Fever, because Kia Nurse just went nuclear hot. When the Sparks beat the Fever, Caitlin Clark put up a stat line. I'm not joking. Maybe if they had won the game, it might have been the most impressive stat line of her for the year. 20 or 30 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. And again, 7 turnovers. It is what it is. Turnovers don't matter if you win the game. Obviously, losing the game. I remember Caitlin made one really costly turnover in that game down the stretch. I think she either tried to go behind the back or like split a screen or something and just dribbled into somebody and turned it over for an easy 2. But like, she was the first name on the team sheet. And I think when you're seeing it from other point guards in the league, whatever about other players on Caitlin, you won't hear a bad word about another point guard. Just like there's a video, I don't know if this video is going to be up first or whether it's going to be up afterwards, but I've recorded a video about Courtney Williams on a podcast with her dad. And Courtney Williams said the same thing when like her dad was like, people are saying she's overrated, and Courtney Williams was like, no, she's not. No, she's not. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. That's the video. See you guys.